G'day everyone. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my single most essential item that I absolutely could not travel the world without. Before I do that though, I just wanted to take a minute to throw a huge thank you to all of our amazing patrons from all over the world. It's the honest truth when we say that none of this would be possible without you guys, so thank you so very much for the support. We very much consider making travel videos to be our job and we take it very seriously. Our channel, although slowly growing, thank you, is still a relatively small channel in the YouTube world. The money we earn from Google is minimal, so without the support of our wonderful patrons, all of this would have ended long ago. So once again, thank you so very much for keeping this show on the road. There's always a link at the end of the video and in the description for those that might be interested in checking out our Patreon account, becoming part of the team and ensuring that the videos that we hope you enjoy can continue. Alright, back on the topic of today's video. What could possibly be the one item on this overland journey around the world that I could not live without? There are countless items in our kit that are essential to our daily lives as full-timers in a truck camper. The one item that I could not do without though could even be considered as non-essential. This little item right here has been the single most used and most cherished item that has not left my side for the past 8 years. Possibly not what you were thinking a full-time overlander would list as his most essential piece of kit, but there you have it. I have been a big reader ever since I was a young child, and I've got one person to thank for that. Thanks, Mom. Love you. Mum encouraged my brother and I to read from a very young age, and we've both been passionate readers ever since. I reckon reading and traveling pretty much goes hand in hand. I'll read for at least 2 to 3 hours per day, sometimes a lot more if I'm on a good book. I always loved reading a real book, but carrying the amount of books I read, let alone trying to get hold of books as we travel, was just not practical. My good mate Frizz finally convinced me to make the switch to an e-reader about 8 years ago. Cheers, mate. Since then, I have never been anywhere without this little thing. Reading is such a great way to relax and keep the brain active. I really can't recommend it enough. Read, and then read some more. For me, I do most of my reading in the evening before bed. I do go to bed very, very early. I may be laying in bed by 7:30 p.m, but it's not always straight to sleep. I find reading before bed is a fantastic way to unwind after a busy day and most certainly helps me sleep better. So what do I read? For the last 20 years or more, 99.9% of the books I read are straight from the fantasy genre. In fact, I reckon I could count on both hands the amount of non-fiction books I've read in my lifetime. Fantasy is not for everyone, I know, but I do recommend trying at least one fantasy book or series in your life. You might just realize what you've been missing out on. The Magician Trilogy by Raymond E. Feist is a great introduction to the wonderful world of fantasy literature. If you can make your way through that one, then you may be ready for the most epic tale ever told. My all-time favorite book series, The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. May he rest in peace. This incredible masterpiece is a 14-book extravaganza. I first started reading this series in my mid-teens, and I've since reread the entire series at least 4 times. I'm currently reading the Stormlight Saga by Brandon Sanderson. Also a great read so far. Anyway, there you have it. The secret is out. I am a closet fantasy book reading nerd and absolutely proud of it. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. My number one most important piece of gear that I carry with me on an overland journey. In fact, anytime we need to pack a bag for a day trip, multi-day hike, or any adventure that takes us away from the camper, the Kindle is the very first thing I pack. If you are already a reader, then I'm not gonna preach to the converted. If you're not, then please do give it a go. It's hard to beat that feeling of getting lost in an awesome book that you just cannot put down. Please do leave a comment below with any suggested great reads, preferably fantasy, because fantasy is the best. I'm just kidding. I do occasionally venture from the fantasy realm, so any suggestions are more than welcome. If you're planning a long-term journey or even a short-term trip, do yourself a favor and add an e-reader loaded up with books to the inventory. I promise you won't regret it. Lightweight, compact, and guaranteed to reward you with countless hours of entertainment. We really hope you enjoyed this video. Take care everybody, and we'll see you next time.